Hello students, in today's class we are going to learn about Microsoft Entra ID. This is our next experiment. So in this experiment we have a task that we have to create a group in Microsoft Entra ID. In that first we have to create a new group. Later on we have to add a members into that group. Okay. So these are the two tasks that we need to accomplish in this experiment. So first of all, what is this Microsoft Entra ID? So for a brief introduction about this, Microsoft Entra ID is a service that is available in Azure, which provides an identity and access management to our services. So what are the services that we create in our Azure portal that we can manage the access to the other users? Okay. So identity and access management, we can protect our services from accessing by the other users. Okay. So it helps the organizations just to manage and secure their applications, devices, nothing but virtual machines, the resources they created in the Azure portal. Okay. So already this Microsoft Entra ID is we are already using now without knowing it. For example, if you see when I are using an Outlook and a Skype and an OneDrive, all these three applications we are logging with an Microsoft Entra ID only. With a Microsoft account, we could able to login into these three applications. Okay. So whatever the credentials that we give, first that will go to the Microsoft Entra ID. Don't get confused with Azure AD. Azure Active Directory is the previous name of Microsoft Entra ID. Okay. So Azure AD is nothing but Azure Active Directory. So the credentials will go to the Azure AD. From there, we can access to all these applications. When we look at in the organization level, an employee in an organization able to access to all these applications, that is Microsoft Teams, Power BI, SharePoint, and so on, by using with only one login. Okay, instead of login into the multiple times for each application, he will provide the credentials for the one time that will go to the Microsoft Entra ID. From there, we can access to all other applications with only one user ID and password. So now, normally what happens is before this Entra ID was developed, what we actually do is in the previous days, when you want any service request from the server, first of all, the client should provide the username and password to the server. That username and password will be checked in the SQL in the user database at the server. Once they are valid, the server is going to give the response, that is the result. Okay. But for example, if you want to access a multiple services like this, virtual machine, SQL database, web services, so on, for each service, for each application, you have to provide username and password. So it is difficult to remember the username and passwords for each service and application. Instead, what we do is instead of providing the username and password for each application in the service, we'll send our username one. We are going to create one username and password that will send to the Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, then it will provide us one token for us. By using this a single token, we could able to access to all other services that are available on the Azure. So instead of remembering this username and password for each and every application, here one user ID is enough for us. One password is enough for us to log in to use the multiple applications, right? That is the main use of Microsoft Entra ID. So now we will see the actual practical part, how to create this Microsoft Entra ID, because our first question is you have to create a group in Microsoft Entra ID. Explain the steps to create a new group in Microsoft Entra ID. For that, you have to open the login. You have to open the Azure portal. In the search bar, just please type Entra ID. Entra ID, you will get a option like this, Microsoft Entra ID. Click on this. Click on this. The left hand side you may see under the manage button. The left hand side there is a list of menu options. So among that we have to click on manage. The second one is groups because we have to create a group in Microsoft Entra ID. That is what our experiment asks us to do. Okay. So just click on groups. This will display the available groups. Okay. In the cloud, these many groups are created. These are the list of groups that are already existed. Now we want to create a new group. We want to create a new group. For that, just click on new group. It will ask us for a few options. First one is group type. What is the group you want to create? There are two types are there. One is security group. Another one is Microsoft 365 group. What is the main difference between these two? Is the security group is used for access control and permissions management of your services in the portal. Okay. Whereas the Microsoft 365 group is designed for collaboration, means it is used for communication with your team members. For example, if you are working on a project, okay, as a team, so you want to interact with your team, you have to form a group with a option called Microsoft 365 group. Okay. Now I will go with the security group. That is what our experiment needs us to do. So I'm selecting here security group name. You can give your own choice, but if you are working on a project, it's better to give a project name. For example, there are a set of projects are there. I'm going to select, for example, end-to-end e-commerce data pipeline. This is a project. For example, if I'm working on it, so just to reflect that, e-commerce, e-commerce. uh, Before that, let me keep KL just to distinguish from the other groups. There are different hundreds and thousands of groups are there. Okay. KL test e-commerce. For example, this is the name I want to give for my group. Okay. Group description is optional. You can give it or leave it, no problem. Okay. So the description as e-commerce. Okay. Now owners. Who should be the owner of your group? Means nothing but selecting the admin. Like how you are creating a WhatsApp group and a Telegram group, in that admins are there, no? Like that, in your group also, there should be some owner. So click on the owners. Now search for your mail ID in which you have logged in. Okay. So the Kale University mail ID I'm selecting here and select it. Okay, one owner was selected. So for this group, I am the owner, I am the admin. So later on, I can add the members once the group is created. I will show that one also. So click on create. Now one group is created, okay, with the name KL Test e-commerce. Now, if you want to see, we want to see the groups. If you want to see the group that you created, go to the all groups, click on the all groups, search for the group you created. What is the name that we have given? KL Test e-commerce, right? KL Test e-commerce. This is the name that I have given. So just click on this. Click on this. Now this is the parameters which I have opted while creating the group. Okay. Group memberships 0, owner is 1, which is me only. And the total members is 0. Okay. So here we can add the group members by clicking here, view group members. There are no members at present. So I can add here by just click on add members. Okay. Once the group is created, owner is assigned. Later on, I am just adding the members into that group. Okay. So there are 400 users are there. Among that, I need to search for the user which I'm going to add in my group. Okay. Whom I'm going to add in my group. So for example, if I want to add a person, with this mail ID. Okay, 031173. Okay, I want to add this user in my team. So select this, and select. Okay, member successfully added. If you want to check here, just click on the refresh. The member will be visible. So in my group, along with me, one more member has added. I can add any number of members according to my requirement of the project. Okay, for example, in your project there are 5 members are working on that, so you can add all the 5 members and form a group like this. Okay, so again I'm going to add one more member into it. Let me check one more member. Let me take this 39110 double two double two triple zero 39110. I'm going to add one more user into my group. Okay, just select it. Uh, just enable and click on select. Okay, member successfully added. Click on the refresh. You may see the members who are added into your group. Okay, so this is how we have to create a group. We have to create a new group in the Microsoft Entra ID. That was already done. And the next thing what I done is how to add a member to that created group. Now, once the group is created, members are added. I need to give permissions to the members, right? I need to give some. I need to give the permissions and the roles for accessing my resources in the Azure. Because so go to the home page. Go here. I have different services that are available in my portal, right? There is an SQL database is there. One storage account is there. Like that, I may have many number of services. Okay, so I have to give the permissions. I have to give the permissions on the access rights for the users in my group just to access my services, okay, which are available in my portal. So for that, what you should do is there is a resource group, right? There is a resource group. Resource group. This is my resource group. Under this resource group, I have created all the services. That is blob storage account, and SQL server, right? So I can give access to my users or my members in my team at the service level. At the service level means, for example, if I want to give only to access storage account, I can give access to this only particular storage account. If I want to give some members access to this SQL database, I can give only for this particular database. Otherwise, if I want to give access to all the services that are available in the resource group, whatever the resource group that I have created, under which whatever the services are available, if I want to give them access for all the services, I can I can give access to this resource group. How to do that? So for that, click on the resource group. Click on the resource group. In the left hand side, you see access control IAM. Access control IAM. That is what we have discussed, right? Access control IAM. It is a Microsoft Entra ID is a service which provides identity and access management, right? So go to the access control IAM. Go to the access control IAM. Now you may see the option add role assignment. Add role assignment. Just click on this. You will be displayed with different roles that you can assign for them for your team. For example, if you select a reader, they can only view all the resources, but they cannot allow make any changes. Okay, only for reading purpose you are permitting them, right? Like that, there are so many roles that are available here. According to the role that you select, they can access your services. Okay, there are another roles. See here, for example, if you want to give them an administrator roles, instead of giving the reading, writing and update, if you want to give them a administrator roles, click here. Owner is nothing but the admin. Okay, he will get a full access to manage all the resources. For example, if you want to make another one in your team as a owner, you can select this. Otherwise, if you want to make them as a contributor, It also gives a full access to the full access to all the resources, but with a limited access, right? For example, if I select the contributor, I'm going to select here as a contributor. Okay. Once I select the role, I have to I have to select I have to select the members in the group, members in the group who I want to make as a contributor. Okay. For that, so click here on the members, on the members, select members, select members. Now here I can individually selecting just by entering their mail IDs here. I'm going to select them. I'm going to select them by individually 1110. Individually I can select like this. I can select that. When I select like this and select, they are going to act as a contributor to my project, as a contributor. Instead, instead, if I want to make all of all as a all as a contributors, all as a contributors in my group, okay, who are the members that are existing? Instead of selecting individually each member, if you want to make them all, if you want to make them all contributors who are present in my group, okay, there may be 5 members or 10 members or 15 members. For that, you have to select your group name here. What is the group name that I have given while creating? I must enter here, right? Now, this is the group name which I have given, KL Test E-commerce. With this name, I have created the group and I have added 2 members into my group, right? So when I select this, all the members who are present in the group will be assigned as a role, will be assigned role as a contributors. Okay, instead of selecting individually, I am selecting the group and click on the select, review and assign. Click again. Adding role assignment. KL Test E-commerce is being added as contributor for KL Student Learn. Means, uh, what happens now? So for this resource group KL Student Learn, I have given permission to all my members in the group as a contributors. Means whatever the services that are available in this resource group, they can act as a contributor. They can access my storage accounts. They can access my storage account. Okay, they can access the SQL database, everything service that is available here. Okay, so giving instead of giving on the whole rights on the resource group, you can add, you can give on the specific resources also. You can make them contributor for the specific resources. Few of the members I want to make as a contributor for the storage account. Few of the members I want to make contributor for the SQL database. For that also I can do it. Okay, by selecting the specific resource, specific service, that is storage account. So if you see the left hand side, access control IAM. For every service you can see this option, right? So if you don't want to give all services or only one specific resources or specific services to the your members in the group, you can do this also. Okay, so add role assignment, same as for the SQL database also. Okay, like this we have to create, we have to create a Microsoft Entra ID and also assigning uh, uh, this is nothing but steps to create a new group in the Microsoft Entra ID and adding a members into that group, and how to add the roles to the group also we have seen. This is what our experiment requires us to do. Okay.